Hello, this is Trent Frederic here, and you're listening here to the boys at Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
The lads.
Fella Friday.
Look at
Fella Friday. Fella New Year's.
Look at that tarp.
Nice tarp.
How soft is that tarp?
It's buttery, as they say.
Buttery. And I had a good compliment from one of our buddies, Joe DeMarco. I sent him some swag.
That doesn't happen very often.
He said, I said, how you like the tees? He said, they're nice and soft. I said, yeah, I mean, the Up Dog take pride in that. And then I said, what do you think about the hats? He said, hats are great. Reminds me of the old school Bear flag hats. I said, fella, that's exactly what we were going for. And his response was, if that's what you're going for, then you pulled it off. I'm like, well, I'm glad you like the fucking stuff, Joe.
There was no better hat back in the day than the Bear flag hat.
No. Mac L would come in for Memorial Day weekend. He'd go right to Bear flag, get a hat. All the boys from New York would.
They used to sell out all the time.
Matt and the Pokey would sell out.
But we ain't selling out at Sauce Hawk.
Yeah, so it looks good on you, fella.
Thanks,
As you got your package, I was tracking it for you. Your text was hilarious to me. You're like, you just got back from New York, and you're like, oh, wow. Did you send me that stuff? And I literally just sent you the tracking number, and I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? You're like,
I think I said something. Yeah, it was in one of the boxes. A lot of boxes.
I got a lot of boxes here. You just sent me this stuff. I'm like, you're a beauty up.
You know what, though? It's the time of year around the holidays. There's just boxes everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah, and especially when you live with a girl like Christina. She just orders boxes and boxes and boxes.
Yeah, by the way, every day I come home to me, too. There's something at my door.
Yeah. I didn't even order it.
I didn't even order it?
But thanks, bud. Nice.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, buddy. I can't believe this is going to be our last show for 2003. 2023. Feels like 2003 today.
You know what? What a year. Great year. A lot of things happen.
Yeah. We got happy to be part of the DraftKings family on DKN Network now. It was a great playoff last year. Some ups and downs. Took it on the chin in the first round. Boston Bruins, Blues in your Seattle Kraken. I was in a big hole to start the playoffs, but peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys, as Rob Niedermeyer told me. So.
A lot of great, successful fellow tours with you.
Oh, yeah. Many more to come in the new year.
It was our 40th birthdays this year.
Great trip.
Right?
Yeah. Your 40th birthday was interesting. We tried to plan a few things, but we figured it out. We got it done.
Yeah, we crushed it.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Well, are you a big New Year's guy? Like some people say it's amateur hour, right? Because you will get these people that come out that aren't used to partying. But what's your feeling on it?
My feeling is I'm not dusting off my credit card this year. I'm saying I'm going to be able to say no. I'm going to say, you know what, guys, if this is what you want to do, go for it. I'm chilling. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm going to celebrate New Year's from my couch.
You think so?
I'm going to try.
I love you. I'm going to take that. I'll take that bet.
How much?
I'm going to say the ball of Cambridge that I owe you. I'm going to say that there's no way you're in your house when that clock
I'm going to be in a dive bar.
Yeah?
What do you think about
in Aspen? Where's the dive bar in Aspen?
Well, there used to be Eric's. That's no longer there. We have Zane's.
Zane's a good sports bar.
Good sport, good cheesesteak there.
You could bring in the New Year's at Zane's.
Yeah, I'm like, guys. Or there's an underground bar. It's like the Ants. No, not Hooch. That's more of like cool little lounge. We were there not too long ago. But no, it's a different one. It's called like something street brewery or something.
Okay, so
got a good little underground winter feel in there.
You're not going to do the $20,000 table at St. Regis or something like that.
No, it's like, why, guys? Why?
It stings.
It stings.
I'm looking forward to New Year's Day. I'm just hanging out in Newport with Mac Miller. I'm looking forward to New Year's Day on that couch. Winter Classic, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, DoorDash.
Yeah.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. And that order up, dog. So
why not, you're going to, oh, by the way, I got this great new thing. It's Lucille's Kitchen here. They make dinners every day. If you order by 3.
What?
If you order by 3 p.m., delivered to your door, like $75 meals, and it's like salad, cookies, and like either like a chicken piccata.
Salad, cookies.
Chicken piccata, and a rice or like a pasta.
Fella, send this to me.
It's insane.
I
and
need
all
it.
home cooked organic food, like home cooked meal comes hot.
This is a single guy's dream. Oh, where was this in the NHL?
No, no idea. No idea.
You know what? I'd be like,
do it.
nah, I don't think I have that many regrets. But one thing I wish I would have done when I played is hired a chef. I should have had a chef that was there, preferably a beautiful woman, maybe that did it for me. But just like I should have had my meals taken care of, right? I should have had that. That's something looking back.
You could have done that. Yeah. So here, we're going to shout out to this girl here right now. I haven't met her, but the food's insane. It's Lucy's Wholesome Kitchen.
Wholesome. I see how she did it there.
Yeah, Lucy'sWholesomeKitchen.com. We're gonna put a little ad out there for her.
That's a free ad read.
I think so.
That's
If anyone's in the Newport area,
hey, that's a free
and
ad
you're
read.
looking for some fresh grub right there.
What's it called? Lucy's?
It's called Lucy's Wholesome Kitchen.
I would say Lucy, if you're listening, the Updog deserves a week of free meals after that ad read for
I
you.
mean, it's a nice meal. By the way, you feed my kids, you feed my wife. It's great.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's
what we're
exactly it.
Updog, happy New Year's, buddy. It's been an unbelievable year. I'm looking forward to the next one here with you at Missin Curfew Hall Pass. Hey, we got a throwback today. Trent Frederic.
A throwback in the way he plays, and just I see this kid. He's wise amongst his years.
I love this kid.
Yeah,
I love this kid. I love his game. You know how we feel about Matty Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk, Walt Tkachuk, Clayton Keller. Throw this guy in as a St. Louis beauty. I reached out to him about a month ago and said, hey, kid, I love your game. Then he texted me back, hey, I love what you and Updog are doing. I said, I'd love to have you on. So looking forward to this one. Obviously, the Boston Bruins, again, are rolling. People, I think I picked them to be a wild card team. A lot of people picked them to miss the playoffs. They continue to roll on without Bergeron. They're doing their thing. Past is looking sick. But Updog, this kid's our type of guy, so I'm looking forward to this.
I never got around to it, but Shaddy, my boy Shaddy, says this kid's a great guy, and I enjoy talking to him. I didn't get a chance. I want to ask him, is Shaddy in control of the tunes? Did you give Shaddy control of the iPod?
Got to. Shaddy lives for that.
Loves it.
I actually reached out to Shaddy a couple days ago and said that I know you're busy snapping around the National League, but in the new year, I need you for 20 minutes on Missin Curfew to talk about the trade heard around the world.
Yeah.
A trade heard around the world, Shaddy. So, Updog, looking forward to this one. This guy's an absolute beauty. Trent Frederic.
That's right.
Coming at you, Freddie. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updog, I call this guy a fucking dying breed, fella.
Yeah,
There's not enough of these guys around in the league. A good St. Louis boy, friends of the Tkachuk family. So I've been dying to get this guy on. I'm excited to have him here.
Good looking lad. Trent Frederic, thanks for coming in, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we caught you just after a little nap, fella. We got a t-shirt at Missin Curfew. I used to say that rest is a weapon. So nice little off day for you today.
Yeah, good off day. Hung out with Reamer, JVR, and did a little sauna, and got a little pool at his apartment complex, and then that got me to hit the snooze button after.
Hey, well, we can start right there. So you got a couple of vets coming into the squad, teaching you the ropes. Is this little spa like treat the body? What is it? What did you used to say?
I used to say,
take care of the body,
stretch the career.
There you go.
Luke Richardson told me that.
Yeah, and I feel like JVR's probably got the same, that same motto.
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran guy. So what's that been like? Yeah. Is he a guy you've been looking up to?
Yeah. I mean, he's a really nice guy. He's all dialed in with, if that's a video coach or I feel like he's always got appointments, kind of working on his body. And I don't know, it seems like if he keeps doing this, he's going to be stretching his career the way he does it. So he's always got body work people, and the place he lives at, he's got a nice little setup. So he just invited me over, and it was nice. I
feel like he's the guy at the end of practice that's always just tipping pucks, right? Is he just like, hey, Lindholm or Matt, come by, shoot some pucks at me, boys, I want to tip them?
Yeah, Shaddy, the 1989 crew, he shoots them for me, and I don't think Reamer misses too many, so he does do that.
Hey,
and you can obviously see that.
What kind of hat you got there? Is that a Rock Creek hat, or what kind of hat is that?
No, this is a Free Bauer Nike Elite Federer hat. Don't really fit my head too well, but
it looks good.
Nice, comfy.
What's that golf course the boys at Big Canyon go up to? Rock Creek is it called? Where the boys brought the cup out?
Yeah, Foley's place.
Foley's place. It's kind of similar to that.
Is that a Roger Federer hat? You said?
Yeah, Federer.
Are you a big tennis guy? I see, like, you know,
Updog loves
I'm a tennis guy, man. I mean, Roger Federer, for, you know, unfortunately we don't get to watch him anymore, but it was absolutely like TV watching him and, you know, Nadal and Djokovic go at it. Are you a tennis guy? You ever seen like those guys play live tennis before?
No, I'm not. I got into pickleball. This is my pickleball hat.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that.
And I'm starting to think this might actually be Rafa's.
It is Rafa's. It is Rafa's.
Yeah, it is Rafa. So yeah, I'm not a tennis guy, but I got into pickleball the last couple of summers, and that's kind of, I don't know, I wear it then.
Yeah, I play pickleball every Monday with my boys at my country club. It's a great game. Do you play in the off season? I mean, it's a pretty good little workout once you get moving too.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, especially one-on-one, can get pretty good. But yeah, I play, like, I feel like it's just like in St. Louis, it's like the new, like, and you can kind of play with anyone, right? Like my parents, my mom is pretty good. Sometimes I get caught with her friends. Just however, I'm in anyone's match. The Wyman brothers from St. Louis love playing pickleball, so they're always trying to get me up there, but it's good.
They say that Garton Minshew, the quarterback for the Colts, he lives in his van in the summertime, in Florida, and I guess he just rolls it up to the pickleball court, plays pickleball with all these cougs, and then tries to take another.
Rolls his windows down, puts the music up.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, girls, you need a fourth there? Let me jump in.
You need some air conditioning after that?"
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that's the difference between a national leaguer and a washed-up podcast guy, because playing singles pickleball, I couldn't do it, Freddie. I just couldn't do it. I got to play doubles, but I got to imagine if you're playing singles, you got to be burning some calories. You got to get humming pretty good.
Yeah, singles is good. You can also play in a way where you can go like cross. And each point you switch, but Alex Weidman, which is he used to play hockey in Miami, Ohio, and then Chris is his brother in Montreal. He loves playing me one-on-one. Rarely beats me, but I got the longer reach on him.
Chris, I love Chris Weidman. I play with him a little bit. What a great player he was, right? Like, and good St. Louis kid. And let's just start there. The St. Louis kids you grew up with, you had Clayton Keller, you had the Chuck brothers. Did this start all the way back in like Pee Wee when you had Big Walt as a coach at the Pee Wee Quebec tournament, or how did you guys just start rolling together?
Yeah. Actually, talk about the Pee Wee Quebec tournament. We had like John Winsick. I don't know if you guys remember. He's the one who T-stopped and challenged the bench. I think it was. But we've been doing it's our 100th year here at the Bruins, and they had their like era come in, and he actually coached me at Pee Wee Quebec, which is kind of wild. And he watches our games, and he lives in St. Louis, so it's cool to see him this weekend. I had to get in a fight for him too, since he was there. And then, but yeah, Mr. Kachuk, and then also Jeff Brown, which is Logan Brown's dad. Played for the Blues. He helped a lot. They both were my coaches growing up. I was kind of fortunate in all sports. I had really good coaches, and I mean, we had other guys too. Luke Cunnin was in that. He was a year above me, but Luke Cunnin, like you mentioned, Kells, Logan Brown, Joseph Wool was our goalie, who's in Toronto right now. He's doing really well. And we had a bunch of other kids. I think our whole team pretty much. I mean, there's some photos. It's like everyone went either D1 or major junior, or we're high draft picks, so it's pretty wild to see, and it's all from the coaching. If you look at it, obviously there's some talented kids, but Jeff Brown was coaching us from age like 8 to maybe even younger, and it's not a coincidence, but it's pretty cool.
Hey, Frank, just talk about growing up in the Lou, and it's a great sports town. The Updog played there. A lot of guys that play there retire there. They got a great alumni program, but just talk about, because listen, we love the Kachucks, we love Clayton Keller. You know, this is the first time we've gotten to talk to you, but we love your game. Like, what is it about growing up in St. Louis that breeds, I guess, good character guys?
Yeah, I think it's just all sports. Like, the people love to stay there. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's more affordable than some other places to live in the world. And I think there's just tight-knit community. I know the alumni group in St. Louis is very big for, like, the Blues. But, yeah, like, I think people just like raising a family there. It seems like there's good schools. I don't know how. Look at all my friends. I don't know if that really makes sense, but apparently there's good schools. And, I don't know. It's people like living there. I feel like the people are pretty nice there. But I'm not gonna say anything about Boston. But sometimes you get less honking on the roads, and it's just a simple way of life. I think people like that.
Would you say it's because, you know, and you mentioned all the alumni around? like when you guys were younger and you're going to these games and like, you know, you having guys like Kelly Chase around and Tony Twist and all, but was it maybe that the fact that these
Couple
NHL
sticks there, right?
yeah, that these NHL legends would come watch you guys play just your average Wednesday night games just because all you guys were there and it was in their backyard? Like, I know you said coaching, but do you think it was just the presence of having all these guys around that made you guys just click at such a higher level?
Yeah, I mean, like even Al McInnes was a coach for his son who was the 96th birth year. I was 98. And then you had, like you said, Kelly Chase they were all very involved. He was the year below me. And, you know, the list goes on and on. I know like Derek Jackman's helping out now. I mean, it's just, it kind of is just like a flow down thing. And like I said, I think now in the past, I don't really know how the setup was, but they had a pretty good alumni locker room. So I think it's another way to hang out with their buddies as they coach their kids. And I think they really enjoy it. And I don't really know. I'm not really at that point in my life, but it seems like, and they're just like, all those guys are just really nice guys. They, like growing up, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought that was normal. And now kind of looking back, it's pretty cool to be like, I'm golfing with, you know, Al McInnes. Like I saw him hit his first home run. Like that's stuff that you don't really realize at a young age, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking about hanging out with your buddies, I can't ask you about St. Louis without this bar, Obi Clark's. I've heard a lot about it. I've never been.
Yeah.
When you go back in the summer, is that where you like to hang out with the boys after a skate or something, after a golf round? Or what? Tell me about Obi Clark's. I got to get to this place, Freddie.
Yeah. I mean, actually, one of the Obi Clark's son just backed up for the. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I
Stars.
did. Yeah, I did.
I thought he was going to wear the OB's hat for sure on the bench, and then maybe the NHL didn't let him. But he played my brother growing up, so we've known them for a long time. And the family's a great family. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. People love going there. My dad and all of his buddies used to go up there on Sundays, so I would go there and play that golden tee at a young age. And I think my dad would have some beers with his buddies and hang out. And, one of his friends has kind of got his name. He's got his own corner there, Bubba's Corner. So he would hang out there on Sundays. And I don't know. I grew up. I've ate a lot of that pizza growing up. I don't know how good it is for you, but it tastes good.
I think you're gonna be like Obi Clark's honorary.
I got to get there.
Like honorary guy that just hasn't been there.
And I didn't know the guy's last name was O'Brien who owned it till his son came out in the E-Bug uniform. Like, holy fuck, his last name's O'Brien too. I got to get to this establishment. But
yeah.
Hey, Freddie, I want to ask you about your golf game real quick. You got the nice golf tee on there. Are you a stick? How much do you play in the off season, or do you like to tee it up with the lads?
Yeah, I do. It's been hard the last couple of summers. The only thing I'll rag on St. Louis is not great public courses, so you got to mooch around and try to get to nice private courses. I recently joined a place, so I'll be playing more. But I think my index, I played a lot this summer. I was a 7 index, and I got down to a 4 something right now. So I got the putting rug in my room, so I like it. It's a fun sport.
America's best guest. When you don't have the membership, you just got to just have some buddies that have the nice memberships.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just got one, so I'm probably on the hook for expensive summer of guest fees here.
Where'd you join?
It's Belle Reef Country Club.
Yeah,
maybe.
Of course.
Yeah.
National League.
I don't know. They said there's not many athletes there, so I got to have my best, my hat on forward and tucked in and see if we can get some other guys in. I'll try to lead by example, and then we'll see.
Uppy still gets his shit for turning his hat around at our club. Like, this on the back nine one day, I'm like, a pro will come by, like, Uppy, turn your hat around.
When I'm feeling it, I just flip it around. If I start playing well, I'm like, yeah, this is when I get to do whatever I want out here.
That course is sick, though. I just remember Tiger in the PGA Championship when he was trying to chase down Koepka. Like, that place was going. Did you go to that by chance? Were you at that summer?
I did. Yeah. So that's the same course. That's kind of when Tiger revamped himself or kind of came back there. I guess that's kind of when Koepka got big too, I believe.
Yeah, the people, the fans of St. Louis, it was such a great atmosphere. Tiger's making a charge. Everyone's just pinned, cheering. It was a great tournament.
Well, one last thing on St. Louis while we're at it. You were drafted, obviously, by the Bruins in 2016. They end up playing together in the final 2018. What was that experience like for you? Did you get to go to any games? You're an organization. You're a piece of the organization in Boston, but you're a St. Louis kid growing up, watching them, in the finals, competing for their first Stanley Cup. Bring me back to that experience for you.
Yeah. I played about 15 games that year, so I knew a good amount of the guys. You know, I knew them a lot better. I didn't really know too many guys on the Blues. But I was Black AC and I was in Providence for majority of the time. And then I think I got called up for like a couple practices, maybe a couple bag skates when someone
Yeah.
would get hurt or something. But I was doing the Black Ace deal, and so we watched all the games. And then when we traveled to St. Louis and stuff, we'd actually all the Black Aces play volleyball in Clayton Shaw Park because they wouldn't have extra ice for us. So we were doing that. But yeah, it was really weird. I mean, it was weird for me because people thought I was on the Bruins. I mean, I was on the Bruins, but like I wasn't really playing. And so they were like asking to do media with me, and they're like, he's not even a player. Like, he's not like an active player. But yeah, it was definitely weird. It stunk to see that. And I remember I got home the same day as the parade, and I went out to my buddy's farm. I'm like, I don't really want to see any of this. But
Yeah.
it's pretty unfortunate because I was a Blues fan, my whole life, and always rooted for them. So it was kind of weird to
A little
to
bitter.
finally
Yeah.
win one
Yeah. A
right
little
when I get on the
bittersweet,
other
I'm sure.
team. So
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of growing up a Blues fan, I'm just curious, like who are some of your favorite guys growing up that you kind of wanted to play like or did your game around? But who did you look up to growing up in St. Louis, and what players?
Uh, David Backus was the guy I tried to play like. I was kind of a center growing up, so I was a little bit of a bigger kid. So I kind of looked up to him. He was kind of the man in St. Louis for me growing up. I actually got to meet him a few times because he was at the Kachuk's house, so we played shinny hockey, and he always seemed like a nice guy to me. And I was actually lucky enough to play with him in Boston my first 15 games. But yeah, I always looked up to him. Obviously, Mr. Kachuk. But
Big Walt.
I actually really liked Manny Legacy too. I was a goalie for a bit. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
So I wore 34 at some points in my life because Manny Legacy. Now Austin Matthews wears it, so can't wear that number. But
How big of a beauty is Big Walt? I got lucky enough last year at the All-Star game. Matty, Chucky invited me over for dinner, and I just sat there and listened to Walt for hours. He was just crushing beers, smoking cigars. I mean, the guy's just a legend, huh?
yeah, he is. We had I mean, growing up, it's funny now transitioning like the life, that changes since knowing him since I was really young. Like this year, I got to play in a member guest with my dad, and Big Walt belongs there. So we got to hang out. He was doing the same thing, stogies, crushing beers, and we ended up finishing at OB's, and ended up being one of the more fun nights of the summer, which is, he's telling stories and just being a funny guy. So
He's a beauty. He's like, I remember he turned to Matty, he goes, Did Brady leave? He's like, yeah, he left it about a half hour ago, Dad. He's like, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. And then Freddie, last year,
funny. He's got some lines on.
Oh, last year in the finals, we did these things for DraftKings where we did same game parlays, and we picked Vegas in the game and this and that. So we're leaving the elevator to go back, and we just hear fellas, and it's Big Walt coming down the elevator. He's like, he goes, have a little fucking faith, would you? And we're like, hey, whoa, we're just doing it for, we're pulling for we don't know who to cheer for, but he's such a beauty, man.
We're homers, yeah.
That's awesome.
And then we got to spend some time with him at the All-Star game. They got this cool thing called the Panthers Lounge in Florida where they make these nice smoky old fashions. And I just got my old fashioned. He walked in and I just handed it to him. He's like, I'm like, here, just take this, you legend. I'll wait for my next one.
Yeah, he's all the time.
Freddie, I want to ask you about the U.S. national program. Like we said, we've gotten close with the Kachucks and Kels and building a relationship with you. But we joke as Canadian guys that, whenever this best on best does happen, we're a little concerned for Team Canada. We hope they're doing the same bonding as Team USA is doing. But how important was that for your development and getting to spend time with these guys?
Yeah, it is. I listened to your guys' podcast with Brady, and I know you guys. I think you guys maybe went over that. But yeah, I mean the program came a long way. I obviously loved going there. All my best friends, we do a golf trip every year. From the guys from the program, there's 8 of us that go every summer and kind of catch up and just play golf. This year we went a little long, but so the memories that were made there, the funny stuff that they do to build like the team bonding stuff, even at the program funny stuff to look back on and laugh. And I don't really know. I'm a little bit more removed since they've kind of moved into this new rink and stuff. We were kind of in between. I was in between Ann Arbor, the Cube, and now their new like USA Hockey Arena. But it seems like they just keep evolving and evolving. It seems like the kids just every year there's like I don't know how many first round draft picks, and it's
nasty.
USA Hockey is it's really starting to take off. It's cool. I don't think I'll be on these Olympic teams, especially at the rate they're shooting these kids out. But it's pretty fun to watch.
You never know, fella. They always need glue guys.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Glue guys, buddy.
No. You're right. And when push comes to shove, you do need a little muscle when you play Canada, when you play Russia.
Push them around a little bit.
Let me ask you this: Are you shocked at what the Hughes brothers have done so early in their career? Like just the chemistry they've had, and just how much they've kind of pushed each other within like a group of three brothers to bring their game to where it's at. Are you shocked? Did you know that they could get to that capability?
Not really. Quinn was a year younger than me, so I at the program I was a U18, he was a U17, and we didn't get to watch many of their games. So I went to a couple of their games, and every time I think he had like 4 goals the one game I went to. Obviously, he wasn't doing that every night, but I was like, this kid's unbelievable. This is like before anyone knew who he really was exactly. So it's not surprising. They all skate the same. We had the brothers in overtime a couple nights ago, and the youngest one throws a backhand sauce to his brother, like, head high, and it lands right on his tape. And I was like, geez. I mean, it's just that takes confidence, takes skill, it takes everything, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that was like the Sedins back in the day in Vancouver. Like they would just like no look, backhand sauce right on Hank's tape. I'm like,
yeah,
how'd you do that? Like, you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know. I must have the wrong curve or something. Stick. He must have a different stick or something. But,
hey, Freddie, I want to ask you about your time at Wisconsin. First of all, I've heard Madison's a nice little town when it comes to.
I did a Halloween there.
You did?
Yeah, when I was playing.
Of course
in
you did. Of course
we all snuck up there. You guys throw a killer Halloween bash. At least you used to.
Yeah.
Like the whole street shuts down, and it's just a.
So what? You just jump in the bus and get up there? Or how'd you
no, we took a. I think we took my Denali back in the day.
How far is that from Milwaukee?
I think it's a 2-hour rip.
Okay.
How far is Milwaukee from Wisconsin? Do you know?
Yeah,
it's probably
a little shy of 2 hours, I guess. Yeah.
Just enough to get a good glow on when you get up there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're here, boys. Let's go. What was it like playing there? And just, we're both CHL guys, but like I'm always jealous of the college guys a little bit because I think it would have been a cool, situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, college is, this sounds bad, but I probably went to school. I went to school for college. I didn't go to school for the school. I wanted to experience that life and play hockey, and also try to get my education was obviously part of it. But when I picked Madison, or Wisconsin, it just felt like they had everything. They had, they had you could have fun at night. During the day, it was a good school all around for football, other sports, hockey. The facilities were amazing, and at the time when I committed there, they were like 1 or 2 in the country, and then I went to the program. They won 4 games, and then they won 8 games. So I was like going in like, oh, and then Tony Granato ended up getting the coaching job, and I actually sat next to him in Ann Arbor watching the U17. That same game I watched Quinn Hughes scored like 4 goals or whatever. And I didn't really know much who he was. Just had me sit next to him, and he was one of the nicest guys I ever talked to. And so I found out that was the same guy that was going to be my coach. I was like, I'm all in to go there. And it was probably the best 2 years of my life. It was a lot of fun.
I got to ask you because, when you went to, U.S. national program, then you went to college, like when did you start realizing, A, that you wanted to fight, and B, that you were good at it and that you enjoyed it? Like, how did that get into your game? Because I respect that so much about you.
Yeah, that's a good question. Me and my brother, we got in a good amount of fights. We have a little little roller hockey basement that we used to probably get in a fight, like to the point where my mom bought us boxing gloves and the helmet and the tap out mouth guard, and it got to be a little extreme. But my first fight was in the AHL, and I just kind of did it, and then all of a sudden I'd get mad and kind of fight another guy, and then before you know it, you're stacking up fights, and That is what it is. I have a couple of funny stories there, but yeah, it's that's kind of how I guess it probably started from me and my brother fighting, and like you said, I never fought all the way until my first, I don't know, like my third or fourth game pro. So
Yeah, I just want to say this. You remind me a lot of Mike Richards when you play. The way he plays in all situations, and then like at any point, if a guy looks at him the wrong way and he's pissed off, he's gonna fight him and beat him up.
Ask questions later.
Yeah, no, and it's such a great way to play this game. So yeah, like Ope says, don't ever change, man. It's so so powerful.
And you're right about just that's how you learn how to fight. You played with Garrett Hathaway, right? Was Hathaway with you last year? Or?
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was.
I was back down in the jungle near the end of my career at Calgary. Put me back at waivers, and Hathaway came up he went to Brown, right? I think.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man.
Yeah, went to Brown.
Brown, yeah. He's like, hey man, I want to fight. Like, what's your? I go, listen, bro. I'll show you a few things, but there's only one way to do it, bro. You just get in there and you start chucking, and that's how you learn. So his first fight, he drops one of his gloves. He only drops one of his gloves, and he just takes 3 or 4 in the beak, and he comes back to the. I'm like, yeah, that's how you learn, fella. But listen, drop your second glove, though. Drop your second glove next time, and look at him now, right?
Yeah.
He's killing it. He's an effective player, and that's how you learn how to chuck him. It's not fun at times, but you seem to enjoy it. Like when I see you fight, it's almost like you're looking forward to it. You're like, bring it on. And I had that at a young age. As I started making some money and thought I was a better player than I probably was, I was like, fuck off. I don't want to do it. But you seem to enjoy it, fella.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously it's not, putting your gloves on the next day sometimes isn't that enjoyable. And sometimes if someone hits you pretty good, that's not obviously the fun part of it. But a lot of times if you're having a tough game or you don't have your legs or something, getting that fight in you, getting that adrenaline can kind of go a long way. As weird as that sounds, it's like sit for 5 minutes and you you're like a new person. All of a sudden you have legs. So sometimes it's nice that when you get that jump in you, and it's also fun. I mean, not everyone gets to just fight people. Just go sit for 5 minutes in life, and it's a good way to just get some frustration out. And my teammates really like it. When someone steps up, they always appreciate that feeling when you come in the locker room and they give you the pat on the shin pad and say good job, and it goes a long way. So.
No, enjoy it, because when you're done, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And like when it starts, when you start, this is way down the road for you, but then you start doing other business stuff. You're like, I love just to fight somebody right now. Like I'd love just to grab this guy and beat the bag off him, and instead of like having to talk about it, this and that. But hey, isn't it crazy, Freddie? Sometimes we're like, you get in a fight, and you sit in there, you're like, I got 5 minutes, and then before you know it, you're like, the guys open the door, you're like, what? I need a couple more minutes here, buddy. I'm not quite done yet.
Yeah, especially if you go on like a long one. If you have a long one, you're like, oh wait, I'm still catching my breath.
I'm not quite done here yet, fella. Close that door.
Hey, Freddie, not just your teammates enjoy what you're able to do when you have the gloves off. This video broke the internet in your first ever game. You fought Tanev. Your old man got up and was just going buck titty. Is he a guy? Does he like you tussling? Does he like the way you play? And did he play like that back in the day?
No, I never played hockey.
Okay.
But they like both my parents like it. My mom just says, if you win, it's all fun and games.
Yeah,
obviously, there's sometimes I get beat up. When I get beat up, she doesn't like it, but she grew me and my brother fought a lot. I don't think anyone's beat me up as good as my brother did growing up. So I think she's kind of figured that out, and she's okay with it. And I think generally they do enjoy it. I don't know if that sounds crazy or not, but when they're at the game, they like it. So.
Yeah, it's always my mom, right? My mom was always like, if you're going to fight, make sure you win. I'm like, no, I'm going to work on that, Mom. Don't worry. Don't worry. I remember
I'm trying.
I fought Bugart. Yeah. He need Chris Kunitz right in front of me my rookie year, and Brian Burke was our GM, and I knew if I didn't grab Boogie that A, I might have got sent down, or B, Burke was going to let me have it. So I grabbed this. God rest his soul. I grabbed the big Boogie, man, and I can't even do anything, right? I'm trying to banana peel him, Freddie, and I can't even banana peel him. And he is fucking labeling me. So I called my mom after the game, and she's like, Shane, I was scared for your life there. I'm like, Mom, that makes two of us. That makes two of us. She's like, don't fight that guy ever again. I'm like, I don't plan on it, Mom. I really don't. So.
Yeah. I don't think she's ever gave me a list of people not to fight, but that guy. Yeah, you're tough. You're a tough guy for doing that there.
Crazy. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Freddie. For me, my first when I saw Mike Modano in warm up my 10th game, and I got a little starstruck. But there was one guy that when I got on the ice for the first time, Ovechkin, I was like, I probably shouldn't be out here against this guy. Like, was there a guy that, first of all, when you got in the league, that maybe you're like, wow, this guy's better than I even thought, or you're a little starstruck? Did you ever have that early in your career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, trying to think like all the guys, like Crosby, for sure. Kane, being from St. Louis, I was actually a big Patrick Kane guy. I did have his jersey in my room. Flipped the other way though, so it said 88 Kane. But I think it was signed, and so Kane, I always loved watching Kane. So that was pretty cool, playing against him and taking faceoffs against him. I got a good Ovi story because my first year I was just kind of doing everything to try to make it. And every time he got the puck, I would try to hit him as hard as I can. He's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And that was that bubble year, so we were playing them a lot. And so it was funny, like he's gave me a concussion, he's hurt my shoulder. This guy's got me pretty good on the he got me in the groin, if you want to call it that, one time. But it's funny because ever since I did that, it's like all of a sudden you see him when I get the puck. I'm like, I woke up the wrong guy.
Yeah,
But
totally.
Their team had pretty good chirp on me one time that, like you're saying, like I shouldn't be out here with him. They're like, he's got more goals than you have shifts in this league. And I think it was half. I think it was going halfway. Chirp me. I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be out here with him. But it's all fun. I think it's all fun in games. Like it's cool.
Yeah, that was like a Ginla back in the day for us. Kessler and Burrow, we go into Saladome.
Iggy.
I would go Kess and Burr. If you guys fucking wake up Iggy, I'll fight you guys tomorrow in practice. Like, don't get this guy going, man. Just leave him alone, especially if he's a little sleepy. Because once you woke him, look out.
Yeah, it was like Chara too.
Oh,
it was the same way.
Oh,
like just stick on puck.
That was great.
To hit the guy.
There was a clip of we were talking about the Luke Hughes getting bundied in the corner the second time, and then Uppy's like, yeah, if you run Chara, you'd expect the same thing. And our social media guy found the clip, and Uppy takes this charge at him, falls down, and then Chara gives him a couple cross checks on he's down. I'm like, yeah, just like that, eh? I mean, that guy, I give you credit for running him though.
Well, that was when I was in Philly. I was playing a lot bigger than I actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. He's a big. He runs
a monster.
How does he run those marathons? Like, I mean, how's his knees feeling? Like, you kidding me? It's impressive.
I think he loves working out and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a runner, so I literally can't relate at all.
No, either can I. Hey, Freddie, let's talk about
I'd rather fight ever in the league than run a marathon.
Yeah, me too, actually. You can put me in that same category. Bring him on. Bring on Revo. I'd rather take on Revo than have to run a marathon.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, I mean, you're a typical Boston Bruin, and I used to love playing that rink. Let's talk about the fans, and then how nice is it when you hear that your win song is unbelievable, eh? I love that song when it comes on, but just talk about the fans and playing in front of them every night because it's got to be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, like I say, I won't say the player's name, but there's a bunch of guys that always come up like after games. I see them. It's a St. Louis kid or kids I played with in the past. You through the hallway, talk after, and like everyone always brags like how it gets them even going. How you show up in warm-ups, it's always usually like pretty packed, and the atmosphere is always it's really like a Saturday night.
Yeah,
pretty much every night there, no matter who you play. So it makes it pretty easy. I probably take it for granted just because I've only played here. But even like last year on the road, there'd be times like we score and you would think we're at home. Like it's the Bruins fans travel pretty well, and TD Garden's an awesome place. The only problem is if it rains, I think the ice gets a little bad. I got that subway underneath. Get the moisture going.
Is that what it is? There's a couple nights in Boston, my legs weren't moving very good.
We'll blame it on the ice. Blame it on the subway.
I'm driving to the rink, it's raining. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be a battle.
Hey, Freddie,
it's an awesome place to play.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to play in Vancouver for a couple years, but I guess what I'm asking is, what's it like day to day living in Boston? You sent me your address. I'm going to send you some swag. You're living in Southie. Like, what's it like being a Bruin in that city? Do you get recognized a lot, or do they leave you alone, or what's your day to day stuff like as a B?
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, people are all really nice to me. I think people recognize. It just depends, like hit or miss. Like the other day, I was having breakfast by myself. Like before we like hit the road or something, and people came up to me, started taking photos. Before I know it, I was like geez, I'm not that cool. I was like taking photos with everyone. The waiters like tell me I'm a celebrity. I'm like, I'm really not. But it's just hit or miss. But yeah, it's a good town. Like the people all pretty respectful. My neighbors watch. The people who live in my building all watch my games and support me, and it's a cool town to play in for sure.
It was probably the next morning after you grabbed Truba, right? They probably were all like, "Let's."
Yeah, they're all like, "Oh, you live in Southie? That's awesome."
Yeah. That's what I said when you sent me your address. I'm like, fucking Southie, attaboy. I respect that.
Yeah. Third year in Southie. It's a good place to live. It's not like the movies though. It's
I know. We
commercialized now.
We spent some time in Southie with our boy Eddie Mack and Brian Berard and Matty Fernandez. Southie's, there's some nice bars in there. I've had some good times in Southie.
Yeah. It's funny. Some nights I'm going out in these bars, and the next day I'm eating breakfast in the morning there. It's like a 2-for-1. It's like, geez, I eat here too much to be going out here.
You're like, I left my wallet here last night, boys, but I'll take that omelet too while you're at it. But my wallet and that omelet, please.
Just keep the tab running for tomorrow morning. But,
Freddie, you guys got a great bench boss, Monty, right? He's I had him in Dallas in training camp, and then the guys in St. Louis, they absolutely loved him as an assistant coach. But what's been his like secret sauce to getting you guys just literally to play your best hockey every night? Like, you guys show up, you guys don't take days off. You lost your leader, and we'll get into that this year. But like, what is it about his leadership and his qualities that get you guys to show up and just play Bruins hockey every night?
Yeah, I mean, besides like the actual like X's and O's that he's really good at, like he's like a good, I guess you'd call him like a people reader, or like he knows who to, like, how to talk to like certain guys. Even like you can see it with just different people. Whoever he's talking about, he can be, he's a guy's guy, and he can, be in the sauna and just be, the coolest guy in the world, telling funny stories, being a great guy. And then, when he's coaching you, he can figure out whose buttons to push and that stuff. And then he's also actually a really good motivator. Like last year, we were winning a good, we were going on some streaks there, and he would kind of come in and be like, I don't know what to say right now. And then all of a sudden he shows up at the 5:30 meeting, and he's getting all the guys riled up about something. So that stuff, he's really good, and he's honestly just a really good person, and I think everyone wants to do well for him. So
I want to ask you, Monty's a great guy. I got to meet him last year at the All-Star game, the Updog. He said you made that team in Dallas, by the way.
He did, right?
He said you made that team. He
screwed.
He said, Updog, I wish I could have picked up. I said, Monty, you would have been singing a different tune by Thanksgiving, bro. You'd be like, fuck this up, Sean. Hey, I want to ask you about Cam Neely. Legend, nice actor in Dumb and Dumber. Kick his ass, Seabass. Love that scene. But how much do you talk to Cam? How much he's around? I know he loves your game because you're a throwback. But how much do you see Cam, and how much is he around the boys?
Yeah, he's around a good bit. He's on the road a good amount as well. I talk to Cam a good bit just about, like you said, kind of the way I play and stuff. And sometimes he might he's actually done a really good job. He's helped me this year. At the beginning of the year, I was struggling a little bit, and he'll pull me in. And I've actually watched a couple clips with him and stuff, and he'll kind of give me his mind of what he thinks. And I really like Cam Neely. He's helped me. As weird as it sounds, like you don't hear that much as a president, but he's really helped me as a hockey player. So
yeah,
I can't say enough good things. And he obviously, in Boston, it's crazy how big of a legend he is here. I think there's more Cam Neely jerseys than he's up there with everyone, so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, he's a stud. Patrice Bergeron, a guy that playing against him, it was like going to war every night. The guy, you couldn't get anything.
I never made a mistake.
Couldn't get anything by him.
Just make a mistake, bud. Turn one over.
He blocks every shot.
Turn one over. Fuck.
He did everything perfect. He's literally Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, you're like, get out of the shooting lane. All right, I just want to get one through here. Let me just see if I can get one through.
What did you learn from him in your short time playing with him? What do you miss about him being around the rink? What was, what's it like Bruins hockey without Patrice Bergeron right now?
We for sure miss him. He's actually been around the rink quite a bit. It's nice to have him. I'm not starting any rumors. I think he's done, but I don't know. I think he's itching, right? I don't know, but I think he likes to be around the rink, and everyone. It's always awesome when you see him walk in. But you're right. He's kind of his hair is always perfect. He's always
Yeah.
dressed well. I don't think he owns a pair of sweats. And he's actually, I don't know if people know, but he's actually sneaky, really funny. Um, he does a good job at the rookie party and all this stuff. He's usually the number one star. He's on the ice and off the ice. He's just just an incredible person. He's always reaching out. I feel like if I text him right now, he'd respond in 2 minutes and be there for someone if he needed it. So, but what I learned on the ice from him, that he's never going to be duplicated. I mean, even in practice, you think he has one hand on a stick, and he's taking the puck off you. You're thinking it's like a Wednesday skate. We're 30 games in, and he's boom, puck's off other way. It's just how he is. I don't know. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I just, from an outsider, guy that played against him, what about his day-to-day stuff? Just comes in, probably a ritual, just a machine. I like that you said that he's a funny guy, because that's what hockey's all about, in my opinion. If you can't laugh in the dressing room, where can you laugh? But was he just a machine day-to-day, or did he know his body and know exactly what he needed to do?
Yeah, he did. I mean, he is a machine in the sense he was always there. He was always first guy there. And Marshy too. They're kind of, you see him around, Marshy's an animal as well. Works out more than the whole team combined. But he was his last year. Bergie was definitely taking some more maintenance days and getting more body work and stuff. It seemed like, but I mean the guy plays 20 minutes. He was playing 20 something minutes a night, every night, taking every off. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, you could see he definitely had the same. You can tell he's a routine guy for sure. But yeah, and he's true pro, always on time. Always warming up in the morning. Kind of always first got to warm up, always finishing the warm up, and it's someone that it's kind of like with the Bruins. You look at this year that we're doing well a little bit without him, and it's just kind of like the pass down that they've been able to do. I feel like with the culture, guys who are new always come in. They're like, man, seems like everyone wants me to do well. I've never been on a team where guys are so happy that I got a point. It's just I've never been on their team, so I don't know. But everyone that comes from another team is always, and that's people like him that.
Speaking about being on time, this could happen to anybody. Jake DeBrusk, I love this kid's game. I love that he fucking made, maybe what happened in LA we don't need to get into, but I love this kid's game, man. He's an old school guy. I love his dad, what he does in Edmonton for the play-by-play, but how good of a guy is this guy? Because I love the way he plays, and your guys' games kind of feed off of each other, but I'm a big fan of Jake DeBrusk.
Yeah, Jay's awesome. He's an interesting guy. He's kind of one of those guys, when he gets hot, he's super hot. He's not a real player. He's when he's hurt or he's missing, you miss that in the locker room, that energy, the joking around, the lightheartedness, the way he carries himself. Everyone loves JD, obviously, like you're saying. You're kind of laughing at that. I think it was a pretty innocent thing. I think it was really, there was nothing really there other than the kid likes to sleep a lot, and his hours of sleeping are a little bit different.
Freddie, I've been there, babe. I've been there, buddy. I've been there.
I've been there too.
I've been there.
Just the timing of all of it. Everyone has those, and some people can sometimes get away with it, and some people catch on that earlier, and sometimes some people get screwed. So
you know what's funny about that though is if he would have slept in Columbus, there would have been nothing to it, But when you sleep in LA, it's like, oh boy, how am I going to explain this one? I swear, boys, I was just sleeping. I swear my alarm clock didn't go off, but listen, buddy, we're big fans of you here at Missin Curfew. We appreciate you taking the time. We know how hectic the season can be. Keep it going, fella. I love the way you play the game, and have a great Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's and all that stuff, fella.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me. Have a great Christmas as well. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, thanks to Freddie. Great kid. Yeah, I mean, it's just for me, he loves the way he plays the game, right? Like he talked about getting in a fight, how some days you don't have your legs or you're not into it. He loves going out in it and talking about his brother and him fighting with the. He's like, it actually got kind of out of control, or what do you say, pretty extreme.
Yeah,
just a great
to
kid.
The point where my mom knew that he was the only one that could really kick my ass that hard. So it didn't matter who I was going to fight in the NHL.
Yeah.
I love the fact instead of running a marathon, he'd rather fight everyone.
Yeah.
All 700 guys. And that was a great way to
He's like, line him up.
because I hate running too, so I touch on that. Listen, no, great kid. I love he dove back into the St. Louis days, and I just from the inside, from the outside looking in at all these young players in the U.S. program and where they come from, and and the guys around them, like Jim Hughes, for example, with his sons, and Big Walt with his kids, and the McInnes in St. Louis. But the St. Louis, that faculty of guys that are around there, man, you could just see what it bled into the way they play, the way they are as young adults, the way they are as young men. They all play the game tough. They all have some great skill, and they look like great teammates. And that says a lot about their youth and where they are as a program. And this is a great kid.
Yeah, that's well said. And if you're from St. Louis and you look at the guys you have in the league right now with the way they act, I mean, they should be proud of that city. Obviously, it starts with all the parents and all the way they were brought up, but these kids are representing St. Louis very well. And listen, I'm going to send them some I'm going to send them some Missin Curfew swag. I'm sending them a rest as a weapon because he talked about sauna, cold tubs, and steamers about 10 times. He's like, yeah, I have a nice steamer, have a nice cold tub, hey, little sauna.
Yeah, he's learning quick.
He likes to recover.
It's learning quick.
Yeah, it's nice to have those young guys on too, right? To talk to the younger generation, to see what they're thinking, and hockey guys are the best. So thanks to Freddie. We're pulling for him. Up dog, happy New Year's, my man. Can't wait for what 2024 brings for us here at Missin Curfew. Maxi Hall Pass Media, thank you. Everyone out there, have a great New Year's. Get a good buzz going, but don't do anything me and the Up Dog wouldn't do.
Happy New Year's, fella.